So one of the biggest things I've mentioned is regret, and how regret is the thing that hurts the most. It definitely weighs a lot. The the more that you have experience, and the more you have the opportunity to reflect on life, and this is what most people go through as they get further and further in life. You have more opportunities to look back and actually make the connections. As a youth, whenever you're moving about doing everything in your life, you've made no connections in your brain. So you have an experience. Maybe you do something that's totally new to you. Maybe you travel to a different country after that and you get a new experience. But you don't really start to make the connections until there's a lot of experiences, or met a lot of people, or you've become a master in some kind of craft. So you have to have that time to look back. But the way that I share the importance of not just where you go in life, but how you go about it, is where those regrets lie. I have so many times where I've looked back on life and I said, instead of making that decision, the small decisions of going to the gym, of creating something, every time I've said, why didn't I do more? Why didn't I go for bigger? Why didn't I do more? I could have done more. Why didn't I maintain that? Why didn't I decide not to go on that route? And the majority of the time, the regrets are not saying, why did I do that? But why would I have chosen to do that instead of sticking to something else? Why did I choose to not double my workout frequency rather than start to cut off in the workouts? Because I could have done double the amount of workouts, doubled the frequency, and still got in the recovery. So those regrets weigh a lot in life, and especially whenever you have the opportunity. Because see, when the whatever it is you're going through, whatever type of in life, you're going to have many experiences where you don't actually get the opportunity to reflect on what's happened. You might lie in bed and think about what's going on, but until it's after all of a large experience, or maybe it's a whole lot of stuff happening to you at once, but after all of that stops and you then get the opportunity to rethink over everything that's happened, and you actually get that calming feel, and even though it might have been intense, then you start to dig through everything, and then you go, I should have went more, I should have done more, I could have done more, I didn't need to make that as difficult as it was, I could have chosen to do this instead of that. And that's where all those regrets come, and that's where all the, you see, people will often have the time where it's just them by themselves, and that's where you find out someone who is someone really. Are they actually just mostly depressed? Are they really not happy with themselves? Do they have to drink alcohol every time they're with themselves? Or do they have to do the same thing over and over again to give them some kind of comfort? Or is the time that you spend with yourself, those moments where you reflect and you make the connections and you go, I remember that and I should have done this, etc. It's not until the whole chunk is over. Doesn't matter how many times you spend breaking up through all the bullshit and trying to go over everything. It's not until everything's over you get that real perspective. And the perspective for me has always been big regrets on not having done more, not having went for more, and not sticking to the good rituals, the good habits when they're there. It's easy when you train 6 times a week and you eat this amount of meals and you stay on top of it. When you're doing it and you're clipping through it like a machine, it's amazing. When you stop doing it, when you stop making it a priority, whenever you say, well, it's okay, I can skip that because I can do something different and I can try this. It's not necessarily bad to change it up, but when you change it up and things start to lose the important consistency they once had, when you don't stay totally focused on that goal, then that's where regrets can often come in. Because you can have as much variety as you want, you can have as much enjoyment you want in life, but whenever it comes down to the stuff that you knew that you were focusing on, don't let that regret come over you. You've just got to go all out in what it is that you want. And at the times where it is difficult, where it is pressing you, remember those are the moments of encouragement. Those are the moments where you go, I've just got to push through this. I've just got to go beyond this. Or this is the reason why I know how important it is for me to keep pushing, keep showing up. Because I know at the end of this, I'm going to know I've done everything, and it's going to have that bit of a bigger boost to it. So hope this message reaches you well, helps you really deeply comprehend the importance of going all out on the things that you do, making the most of them, and realizing there will be a point, no matter how intense something is, no matter how difficult stuff is, no matter how much you have to get a lot of stuff together, there will be a point where it does come together. And that's where you will go through all of the shit and get caught up and skip things, but once it comes to the end, you will start firing off going, I should have done that, I should have went bigger, I could have made the best situation out of that, and I didn't. Don't let those regrets pop up.